Good
I should
morning. Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecian Live. I'm Jillian.
And Aston, very confused Aston at this point. Morning to you all.
He thought he was going to do the show without a microphone.
Yeah.
We know you have superpowers, but that's not going to happen.
No, it's never gonna happen. Not in this lifetime.
All right. Well, good morning and thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Those of you who already have questions, feel free to just start popping them into the chat. Today is the last day of our discount, so you may want to know what you need to replenish, what you can get for family and friends for the holidays, so you can start putting in your questions, concerns, or points for guidance, and we can get right into them. But for those of you who are new to NuSpecies, we are a natural health company. We invent and manufacture our own unique line of raw, organic, liquid, plant-based supplements and herbal medicine. We are also an integrative health consulting practice because many of you come to us with pre-existing conditions and do need medical treatment. And we believe it's our duty to help you get the most out of the natural lifestyle that you want to live, as well as the medical treatment that you need. And we've been working with people who have all sorts of health issues for the last 18 years. July was 18 years for NuSpecies. And so we can bring that knowledge to the table to help you out. So we host this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. because a good health choice for you may not be for someone else. And we're here to get you answers to your questions. So thank you so much for being here.
Yep. And sure you have friends and family out there you can invite to join and listen in. We have a lot to share with you today, as always. So get them started anywhere they are in the world. Let them join, and if they have questions, they can ask. If they have questions that you know about, you can ask for them on their behalf. So let's try to make today as very interactive as we can.
Yeah. So just so that you know, the 15% off all products is happening through tomorrow. But today is the last day to do it in store. So Bronxville and Elmont are open. We're here in Pauling until about 3 o'clock, but ideally come closer to 2, so you've got time to get what you need. And you can get your discounts in store. If you have to order online, which you can also do today, and just choose in-store pickup as your option if you want to come by next week to get your products. So you can lock in your discount just by placing your order online and then use pickup as your delivery option. And then you can just show up whenever it's convenient for you. So there's no reason you should have to miss out on this discount, regardless of where you are in the world right now. The promo code is THANK15 off. It's at the top of the website. It's also on the main slider on the website, so you can't miss it. You can also find it on the app, on our email list, and in the text messages we've been sending. So if you are on our email list, text list, or have downloaded our app, you should be well informed at this point.
Yes, and I hate to say it, but we will not have a Thanksgiving or Black Friday discount.
Right.
This is it.
Right.
This is it. So if you have friends, family, anyone, waiting for Black Friday, we are not going to have a Thanksgiving or Black Friday discount. So today it is going to be the end in the stores, right?
Today's the last day in store.
But online tomorrow at midnight?
Well, 11:59.
Okay. Pretty close to midnight,
the stroke of midnight, the pumpkin disappears. But I will say we're not Grinches when it comes to the holidays. It's just that we actually want to make sure we enjoy the holidays. And when we do a promotion, it brings a lot of customer service chaos, which is all fine and wonderful, and we appreciate it. We would just rather that not be happening to our team and to ourselves when we're trying to also enjoy the holidays. So we just take care of our discount early in the month. So don't hold out. There's not going to be anything better. There's no surprises or gimmicks here. It's just, this is the discount and it's happening now and it's ending tomorrow. So go to the website or come to a store today. Bronxville closes at 6 and Elmont closes at 7. As you know, even when you think you know exactly what you want, it can still take up to 15 or 20 minutes in the store to check you out, depending on the questions you end up asking.
And you all know that. You all know that. Especially if you want to speak with me, yes, it will take some time.
And yes, if you end up needing that for our team to conference Aston in. So please show up to the store. If you're going to go to Bronxville, get there by 5. If you're going to go to Elmont, get there by 6, so that Shania and Ashley don't get held up after we close.
Right. And also for family and friends, I know a lot of you are going to buy for the holidays as gifts, etc. We now have these, what should we call them? They're powerful. The formulas are powerful, but we have these more basic support that you can affordably get for your family members and friends anywhere in the world. So you can call us about that. I don't think our website is there yet.
Mm-mm.
We put some stuff up there on the homepage and for men's and women's health. You could take a look at that if you have family members who have prostate issues, or females who have issues with fibroids, ovarian cysts, issues like those, dense breast, menstrual irregularity. We have stuff up there for just specific categories, and we're looking to add more. But
So Mary's showing. So if you go to the shop, we have all our categories here. Just click on men
thank
or
you, Mary.
women. So Mary's clicking on men. And then we actually walk you through and explain why you might want to use each product or add on and create a package.
Mhm.
And then we prompt you to call if there's something more powerful you want. But basically, we're just showing you that even as low as $34.99, you can get started supporting your body.
Mhm.
The same thing goes for the detox category. We start with your foundations, and then we start building, and we explain why you might want to add on each of these items and give you some options, and you can build the budget that you want. So you can add them to your cart, see if you're liking the total. If not, then remove them. But you know, we built our business on helping people who are sick, helping people who have time sensitive health concerns, and most likely had already been through the medical system and have tried everything and weren't getting results. So by the time they came to NuSpecies, we were put in a position to be very, very careful with how we recommended our formulas, which usually men asked and felt pressured to rely on our more powerful formulas to be sure that you saw something. Because if you didn't see something early on, you may give up on what would potentially be your only solution left at NuSpecies. And so, because we built our reputation that way, a lot of people think that the only reason you come to NuSpecies or the only way to get help with NuSpecies is to spend a ton of money. And it's actually not true. And so, really, it's about letting us know. And I always say this, we have to reconcile a few points. What are your needs? What are your expectations? And what is your budget? Your needs are objective, right? Your labs, your diagnosis, your doctor's input, how you feel. These can't be argued with. You have needs. Your expectations are subjective. So, this is then the extra layer that you're placing on top of whatever your needs are that are based on your fears, your psychology at the time, your spirituality at the time, your personal urgency, whatever you say. So, like, some people maybe are just borderline blood pressure, but they feel like this is a direly, urgent scenario. They want to get away from it before they ever get recommended medication. And then other folks have high blood pressure, but they're truck drivers and they won't be able to renew their license if they don't get their blood pressure down. So your expectations can add on another layer that we have to consider when we make a recommendation. And then your budget. Despite what your needs are or what you expect, your budget is what it is. And only you know that. And we're not here to try to swindle you out of any amount of money. Our goal is to make sure you see results, or at least get the support that you ultimately want from NuSpecies, because in our minds, that's a win-win. Then you will be with us forever because you trust us and you know we're here to take care of you. So our goal is not to get you to spend as much money as possible. Our goal is to get you to do whatever is necessary to meet your needs, your expectation, and your budget at this time. And so that has led us to go on this journey of figuring out, how do we show folks that they can see significant health improvements, even with what is considered to be our most basic products. Because if the alternative is that you're just going to go use some other random supplement you saw on Facebook, then you might as well be using our most basic product line. It's probably going to be much more impactful for you than anything else you're going to go experiment with elsewhere. You came to us for a reason, and we can meet many, many of your needs. And that's what the website is trying to address now.
Mm-hmm. And that's great that you articulated that. So you all want the best, and I think we have the best, and I think you know that. So you want to have the best, we have the best. The decision for you is to sit with us and talk with us about your needs, your needs, your budget, where you need to be. Um, we will talk you through it. You don't have to start at the top with the most powerful we have. You don't have to. Even if you have the worst health conditions, you don't have to. What we see happening is that we scare people away and we scare your friends and family away because they come to us and they have chronic issues. And we tended to recommend something more powerful than they can afford. But the basic works. It just takes longer. The basic works. And all you new specians who've been around for over 18, 20 years, you know that our basic works. So we're taking you back, or we're taking your friends and family and new clients, we're taking them back to the basics. Let them start there, but they have options to graduate upwards where they can go on the more potent formulas. But it has to be based on needs and budget. And those two have to be married in a comfortable way for you to be happy, for all of you to be happy, for your friends and family to be happy. So that's what we're trying to accomplish. If you have any ideas on that, let us know. But that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, because a lot of you, especially who join this Q&A, are some of our most dedicated clients
Mhm.
and supporters, and we appreciate you so much. And we know that you're probably out there talking to folks about NuSpecies and maybe hitting up against some walls where you're not sure how to get past, how to help this person see what you see about NuSpecies. And like I said before, some people, just because of a lack of understanding or a lack of our ability to explain what we do, can lead them to not get a solution that may not exist anywhere else for them. And we don't want to have anyone lose that opportunity just
Mhm.
because we didn't figure out how to communicate well. So if you have thoughts about how we can communicate well, or even just to say where you tend to hit your greatest objections when you're talking to others, or where you tend to hit a wall and you don't know how to get past that point, we can use that in the future write-ups we put on the website, on the blog, in our literature. So your feedback matters so much. And I also am looking for folks who are willing to just have some conversations with me over the phone so I can pick your brain and learn more about what you're thinking about NuSpecies and what you'd like to see from us, what's working for you, what isn't, from products to marketing to customer service, all of that.
Everything.
Yeah, you guys know best, and we want to hear from you.
Mhm. So with this new process we have for you and for us as well, to help everyone, family and friends, you can always go up if you want to do something more potent any given month or even any given quarter or year, or you can come down. It's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to your needs and your budget. So you can go up when you can go down in terms of potency. We will find a way to recommend even the basics for you to get the best results. And then even with the basics, if you're willing to do the dietary changes and lifestyle changes that we also have, you all know that we have our two pager. I call it our new life two pager. What to eat, what not to eat. Exercise, consumption of water, etc. If you add that in with the most basic we have, trust me, trust us, you will see significant results as well. So you don't have to build, as they say, where I'm from. Rome wasn't built in a day. The Roman Empire actually existed for probably 2,000 years. That's all.
Ashley's pointing at me like I had anything to do with
Well,
it.
she's an ancestor of the Romans.
He always
So
calls me the Roman, and he's the Cushite.
yeah, exactly. I'm the Kushites and she's the Romans, and the Romans and the Kushites were always at war. You heard about all the Carthaginian wars, or all those big wars. But we're not at war now. We're at love now. We're trying to help you all. So start small and use our dietary lifestyle recommendations, and you will see results. It doesn't matter what issue you have, you will. We know what to do. to help
Yeah,
you.
and we actually have gotten a lot of feedback and interesting data recently where we've researched different types of alternative cancer treatment centers around the United States and in other countries. And
Yeah, let's talk about that.
yeah, and a constant theme that we saw is that you can spend at minimum 40,000 to $150,000, and more, because that's just the treatment at these centers alone. It doesn't even include housing. Most of them are outpatient. So if you're
Hmm.
traveling, you're going to have housing and food and transportation and all of that. Um, so you could be spending well upwards of $175,000 for 3 to 8 weeks, maybe, or 12 weeks of treatment at one of these places. And still, most of these protocols, if not all, come with extreme lifestyle change. And I don't say extreme in like a bad way, because it's what we would agree with, which is completely changing your diet, water intake, exercise, um, all sorts of stress management and
Hmm.
spirituality, and
Hmm.
all the things that basically just target anything that could possibly get in the way of healing. They want you to do, and it's stuff that you're doing at home. And so I say, well, you can also do NuSpecies at home. You don't have to travel anywhere to do that. So,
And save a lot of money.
and you would spend nowhere near that amount. And so you have the at home aspect of NuSpecies, and then we're going to guide you on lifestyle as well. So it's not like if you had chosen a different treatment option or natural treatment option, that you would be getting away from any of the tough work that you have to do. But you will end up spending a whole lot more, and a lot of these places specialize in only certain types of treatments. So um, you're what you're ultimately getting with NuSpecies is the nutritional aspect of these powerful plants that we keep raw and organic and liquid in our formulas, that are getting your body to fix itself. And then sometimes maybe you need all of it, who knows. But again, where budget comes in, you have to be pretty strategic about your decisions.
Hmm.
And so when we tell you that you need to change your diet and lifestyle, that's just part of any sort of healing program. You're never going to get away from that. And frankly, if you went anywhere that told you you didn't, I'd be skeptical.
Right. And I have looked very, unfortunately, deeply at some of the programs they have at those centers. And two things I come away with. One is, you know, a lot of the oxygenation or ozone treatments they do may not be effective for a lot of you, for most people, because if your body are already toxic and you're going to do certain types of infusions, it could make your body even more toxic. That's what, when you do oxygenation, you're pumping it into your bloodstream, and you do ozone, those are compounds. Those are compounds that are toxic. Google it right now, or go to any of
Aspen
the.
always says Google it, but
Well,
I don't
well,
agree.
I like people to have. You may not get the facts. You may not get the heavy details that you all need,
Right,
but it gives you an idea to go back to the National Institute of Health, which is one of the most powerful government database in the United States on health and science and nutrition and medical information, if you want to get a lot of medical information and clinical studies. So you can go to the NIH, the National Institutes of Health. But if you Google, it's going to give you an idea as to where you go to get the real information. Google is not going to give you the answers. But just to see that a lot of these programs are toxic, I'm not saying you shouldn't use them. I'm saying that we have nothing in our formulas that are toxic. And the second point I want to make to you is that the infusions, a lot of the infusions they do, they can't give you naturals. They can't give you plants or herbs or whole foods. They can't do it because those are high risk for infection.
and let's just be clear, because we're not when we talk about infusions, we're not even talking about like a cancer treatment center. We're talking about infusion bars are popping up all over the place. Like, this is just becoming like, instead of
It's
getting your
everywhere.
coffee, you're gonna just go to like a salon and get infused with B12 or something.
It
And
gets CBD or something like
well,
that.
well, I don't know if they do that, but just like the vitamin infusions and stuff. That's just like a whole other like a whole other world that doesn't make any sense to us. So, um,
But what I want to say, I just conclude my
yeah,
point.
yeah.
What I want to say is that we have made the new species products and formulas to be so potent that when it gets to your stomach, where the foods are broken down, and then it gets to the small intestine, where the food is metabolized and get digested. At least that's where metabolism begins. Our formulas are potent enough, if you take it based on how we recommend that you should take them, that they will get you the blood circulation, the oxygenation, and the ingredients will get to this to the cells, the tissue, the organs. It may take a little longer because of the digestive and metabolic process it has to go through, but our formulas are potent enough to get you there. And that's one of the reasons why we have so many clients around the world who have gotten extraordinary results and benefits from taking NuSpecies.
And usually way beyond what they expected or what they came to us for.
Always, almost always.
And that's because the body's there, ready to do the work. And when you give it what it needs, it's going to start fixing whatever it can.
Right. So you add, and the NuSpecies products are just one piece of it. Our formulas are just one piece of it. We really want you to embrace dietary changes and lifestyle. Those are necessary. You can't be padding sugar into your body if you have certain health issues, not just cancer. It could be diabetes, it could even be blood pressure, it could be cholesterol. You can't just pad all these different foods into your body and expect to get results. So the dietary changes that we recommend, that we have in those 2 pages, you look at those 2 pages and you're thinking, okay, why isn't this 10 pages? Because you only need the 2 pages. And I'll tell you why. We have them there, and Mary, correct me, we have kale, broccoli, spinach for you to include as part of your diet. You know what those 3 foods will do for your body? They have proteins. Well, Jillian doesn't like me saying Google. Well, go to NIH.
Well, just because Google's going to tell you whatever the search engine optimization wants you to know, and it's just not.
But what you're going to find is that the 3 most fundamental foods our bodies need are in those 3 pieces of vegetables. Our bodies need amino acids, our proteins, our body needs fatty acids, our bodies need pentose, which is what our body, use to help support our genes and DNA. So those 3 things are not just in there because we just throw them in there because they're well known or they're popular. No, it's because of what they have scientifically proven to do to support genes, DNA, organs, oxygenation, blood circulation. So if you couple those 2 things and then you add in doing some motion or exercise or movement, even if you're handicapped, you can lie in your bed and you can do motion and you can get blood circulation going. And if you get blood circulation going, you're going to get oxygenation going. So these are very simple things that you can do at home, folks. You got to make the time. Just as you made the time to get dressed in the morning and go to work, you got to make the time to take care of yourself. There's no magic. So you got to go to any of these centers. They're going to do what they do for maybe 3 months or 6 months, whatever the case is. After that, what's going to happen? You're on your own. Unless you're going to fork with another $100 and whatever $1,000 to go back there, 6 months later, or another year, or a year later. So you still have to go home and do the work, because that's what they do. They train you as to what you should do at home. So just keep that in mind. I think I talk too much. I shut up now.
All right, we're just gonna.
But you all get the point.
We're just gonna shut up and we're just gonna look at you guys.
Yeah. And any questions on that? Any comments on that?
Mary was just reminding us about Google Scholar. So it's like scholar.google.com, and it will allow you to search only journals, studies, case law versus just what anyone has randomly posted on the internet.
Actually, I have a new friend.
Oh, no, we're not talking about your new friend. We're not ready to talk about Aston's new friend.
Okay. All right. Google Scholar.
She's gonna replace me.
Let's do Google. Let's do Google Scholar.
Did you turn down the settings on that thing? The friendly settings on. Aston's has been doing a lot of talking with. Tell them who your new friend is.
Chat GPT.
So here's the problem with Chat GPT. Unless you turn down the friendly settings, okay? She's just like, oh, Aston,
Actually,
you're so intuitive. What a great question. And I'm like, every time he says something to me, I'm like, I don't know about that, Aston. And I just give him a hard time. I'm like, he's gonna marry ChatGPT.
Well, I changed that. It doesn't say that anymore. It's now hard, cold,
critical
scientific facts. Hard, cold scientific facts. Like this morning, I asked it about spirituality, because that's the force in nature that we all should have in our lives, and it's part of health. Speaking of going off to these centers and they talk about Jesus and God and spirituality, it's something that we have to do on our own. You have to do on your own. But I'm not going to get into what Chat GPT said, but the bottom line is that
change the subject.
It's a powerful force that we all need in our lives, whether religions call it whatever. It's a force. It's an energy force that we all need in our body as to complement our health, whether it's mental, physical, spiritual health. We need that to be really balanced in getting our bodies to help us to live as long as our bodies can live. I call it longevity. It's critical.
In which we're going to talk a lot more about that as well. Okay, June is asking, if your water intake is lacking, does this hamper the benefits of NuSpecies? So I would like to take a stab at this one, and then you can tell me if you have anything more specific to say.
Yeah.
What I will say, June, is that keep in mind that our health is far more complicated than any one or two things we're choosing to focus on at any given time. So you're taking NuSpecies and that's a focus, and then you're thinking, oh, I need to drink more water, and so you're thinking new water is a focus. But your body is dealing with about a trillion other things and processes at the same time, and just because you're choosing to focus on those two things doesn't mean they're the only two factors that you need to be considering. So having said that, I usually like to just flip this question a little bit, because people do ask this in a variety of ways. If I drink alcohol, will that stop my NuSpecies from working? And usually we're hyper-focused in this direction because we're spending money out of pocket on our nutritional supplements, on our herbal medicine, and we want to make sure it's working as best as possible. But the way I always think about it is actually you have added NuSpecies in to your life. Regardless of whatever was already happening. The idea is that you are always better off with NuSpecies in your body, with powerful raw herbs and vitamins and minerals in your body. You're always better off. Now, if at any given time you want to continue to optimize how well your body functions and how quickly or powerfully your body is healing, then yes, you want to improve many facets of your lifestyle, including your water intake. So I would say that I don't know that there's any definitive way to say that if you're not drinking enough water, that NuSpecies won't work as well. But the point is that NuSpecies isn't doing anything to your body. Your body's using it to fix itself. And so if you're asking your body to do this work, then get out of its way. Give it what it needs, right? So stop putting things in your body that's getting in the way, and don't deny your body anything that it needs. And then your body will go to work as powerfully as possible for you. So to me, the real concern here is am I doing everything I can to make the most of my investment in NuSpecies, right? I think that's really what it comes down to. And certainly drinking more water will always help your body function better with or without NuSpecies. And then taking NuSpecies on top of that is only going to give your body even more that it needs. I hope that makes sense or helps.
Oh, I agree.
You don't have any particular point of view on that very specific because to me it's kind of like a false connection to say that water and NuSpecies are the only two factors I should be thinking about at any given time, and that they're the only two things affecting each other and your body. So I just tried to broaden it away from just thinking about those two things. But we have people who change nothing about their lifestyle, and just by adding NuSpecies in, they see huge health improvements.
Yep, and we have people who they do nothing with their diet. They still eat and drink and do a lot of alcohol and all those really awful things, and they see great results. I say they're awful only because they have chronic health issues and they still do all the bad diets, dietary practices, and they see results. But I agree. What I would say to you all, Mary, just
Oh, Mary brought up another point. The only thing Mary said is like maybe for the detox because it has to be mixed with water, and also drinking water fosters peristalsis, which is the muscle movement your intestines make to push fecal matter out of your body. And so consistently drinking water throughout the day continues that movement and allows our detox to be as effective as possible. What I find though is that it's not wasted. It's just like maybe a few days later when I start drinking enough water, I get a humongous movement. So it's never wasted. It's just like that day-to-day optimal feeling will be better if you're always drinking plenty of water. But yeah, sorry I interrupted.
I know it's
He's
fine.
like, I don't even know what I was saying now. Thanks, Jillian.
No, I do.
Oh,
I was
okay.
going to say to you all that you should, let's use Mary's Google Scholar. And you can type in hydrolysis, and what you'll see is that without having adequate amount of water in the body, it doesn't matter what you eat or drink, your body won't use that food well at all. In fact, your body will produce a lot of inflammation if your body doesn't have adequate water. You're going to have a lot more acidic or toxic substances hanging around in your body. So whether it's NuSpecies or foods or whatever you do, I had water this morning. By the way, I had my last week. I did this morning.
I gulped out a bunch of water too. My new thing now is like I really am excited to get to my coffee or my tea, and I just tell myself, nope, you have to drink water first.
Yeah.
And so I just guzzle as much as I can to get ahead, and then I drink my coffee.
So what I do, I now have, my water cup in the bathroom, right by the sink. So we drink
Another thing by the sink.
NuSpecies as well, but yes, I have my water.
You should see the amount of NuSpecies bottles all around his sink. I just so badly want to get them all out.
If I don't get my water intake there, by the time I leave the bathroom and I go downstairs, you can forget it. I won't remember. So the first thing I do when I go to the bathroom is fill up my cup with water and I down it. And believe me, by the time I get downstairs, I feel so much better. And I think you all should try that. Keep your NuSpecies in your bathroom and keep your water cup in your bathroom, and you won't forget to do it.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah,
that's a great point. I'll just keep like a water bottle right by my bed. I used to keep cups of water by the bed, but then pretty much every single night I would knock it off the side table, come crashing down, and I would just have to remember not to step on a bunch of broken glass when I woke up in the morning.
and I forget because our kids, they're tyrants, demanding, and you all know about kids, right? Tyrants. So I will never be able to remember to get water in the mornings unless I have it right there at my sink.
Okay, Ron is yelling at us because he's thinking that what we're saying is not direct enough. Please tell them, yes, you need to drink water. Yes, you need to drink water. Absolutely, you need to drink a lot of water every single day. I just don't think that, I don't want anyone to think that not drinking enough water is somehow going to change the benefits from NuSpecies, because you're always better off having NuSpecies in your body. So folks who say, well, if I drink alcohol, is that defeating what I'm doing with NuSpecies? And my answer would actually be that you're likely to drink alcohol anyway. You are better off taking NuSpecies to help your body deal with it than to not take it because you think maybe you're wasting it in some way. No, it's always going to help your body function better. But water is so imperative to the health of humans.
It's imperative. It's critical. And, if you want more details, we can always give you more details. But the body is not going to make any, and that's why you look up the word hydrolysis. Our bodies are not going to make adequate amount of energy without enough water. It will not happen. It won't happen. And we only have one energy center in our bodies, and it's called mitochondria, or the mitochondrion. It's not in all cells, but it's in most of the cells in the body. And it's water. It's water, not even oxygen or hydrogen, both water that the body used to create the energy in our bodies. That's how critical water is. And if we don't have enough, our bodies are not going to make adequate energy. So it's critical that everybody be drinking the right amount of water on a daily basis. In some cases, I would say it's probably more important than even food to some extent, because the hydrogen in the water and the oxygen in the water are critical for all life forms, not just humans, bacteria too, and viruses too. Critical for them.
That's where they grow, where there's moisture.
There you go.
June was asking,
although they prefer a little bit acidic, that's why they multiply more rapidly when it's nasty places in our bodies, and they will multiply.
Eliminate the nasty places.
Yes, with water.
Physically, spiritually, emotionally, and eliminate the nasty places. That's like our lifelong goal. All right, June is asking, can you drink water before taking the liquid NuSpecies?
Well, we
sorry, and that's also Fitzgerald is tagging on that by saying, I thought that taking my NuSpecies was supposed to be the first thing I do in the morning versus like drinking water. So I think I think the question of water in closeness to your NuSpecies is now being asked.
Right. So if you're asking about me, Fitzgerald, before we get to June, I take my NuSpecies at nights or later in the day. I don't take my NuSpecies in the mornings.
Sorry. So, okay, we confuse them. The reason Aston has NuSpecies in the bathroom and he uses it in the morning is because he's using it topically, like a moisturizer. He's on his skin for shaving and bumps and things like that.
I have my vitamin E, my B pollen, my LNU1. I use those, on my skin. I naturally have dry skin as well, so I need those.
And it's part of our first aid. So I'm always dealing with something. I'm always cutting myself, injuring myself. And so usually in the bathroom is when I'm like rubbing some vitamin E or some LNU1 onto whatever I've done to myself that day. And so that's why we have it. Mostly that's why it's in the bathroom.
Right.
If you go to Aston's office or into our kitchen, you will see the rest of the NuSpecies there, which is what we ingest.
Right.
Now, okay. So
Sure.
Technically, as far as water goes, with our instructions, especially for people who are rebuilding, we do say if you can tolerate it, you should really try to take NuSpecies just totally raw, separate from water, separate from food.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me, I am a total wimp and I cannot tolerate that. And so I do dilute it with a tiny bit of water. And often I do have to have had something in my stomach. Having said that, I still get great results from NuSpecies, so I'm not concerned. But when Aston's recommending it to people who are going to like hold us accountable to every second of that product that they're taking, his recommendation for potency would be, yes, separate from water and separate from food.
Yep.
Okay, so June is like, great, I've been doing it correctly. I know it's like when you're spending a lot of money and we get it and you're investing in your health, you want to make sure you're doing it the best that you possibly can. What I will just to put a pin in June's original question and just wrap this up is, yes, we're focused on water, but every day you're breathing in all kinds of toxins in the air. You're getting toxins in your water. You're getting toxins in your food. If you're not eating a perfectly clean lifestyle, and even if you're eating a perfectly clean lifestyle, you are still being exposed to all sorts of serious chemicals on a daily basis, from your furniture and your clothes to your body products, your hair products, your makeup, your perfume, your car, the materials your house was built with. I mean, we are being inundated with toxins. So if you want to take it to that level, you could say, is living my life going to make NuSpecies not work as well? And the point is, there's always going to be times we don't drink enough water, where we're exposed to toxins. We're not eating well. We're not exercising. None of those things are reasons to think you are wasting NuSpecies or that you you're not getting the most out of it, because these things are kind of always happening to one degree or another. But adding new species in only makes you more resilient to those things, whatever they might be on any given day.
What does resilient mean?
So by resilient, meaning your body, your immune system is stronger to deal with the incoming.
Right.
Your body will be able to purge what came in better and more efficiently. It will be you're down to the DNA, constantly trying to repair and keep your cells and your DNA healthy. I mean, this takes a ton of energy, and got to do it accurately. Otherwise, you start making mistakes and getting genetic mutations. So, down to like the microscopic level, your body is, the more efficiently you keep it running, the less likely we are to develop illness, or the better we are to get over whatever illness we might be dealing with.
Absolutely. So that is just, I know you want to close the subject, but that is just absolutely critical that we all understand that our bodies need to have what it needs to fight viruses, bacteria, chemicals, compounds, all these things that we get bombarded with. You can't start fighting when disease has set in. Yes, you can, but we all should be fighting. We all should be giving our bodies what our bodies need to fight these things before they happen, because they're happening. They're happening. And all the Nobel Prize winners' work that I've looked at, and I've looked at many, some of them are on our website, in terms of biology and health and good health, they all agree that they use the term entropy. And you can go to Google Scholar and look that up. And what that means is that it's the balance amount of these bad things that should be in our bodies. And when it gets too high, the toxicity, the acidity, the chemicals, the compounds, when they get too high, as Jillian was saying, that's what damages genes and DNA. That's what damages cells, damages your organ. And that's what caused premature aging. That's what caused disease. So our bodies always have to be in a position to fight these things off. And that's what NuSpecies says. That's what our NuSpecies programs are, not just the formulas, our dietary recommendation, or lifestyle recommendation. It's empowering the body to be able to fight, because our bodies are open system. As Jillian just said, it's an open system. Our pores, our nostril, our mouth, our whole body is open to anything in the universe that is toxic, anything on earth. And what we need to do is to provide our bodies the mechanism to fight these things, because they're in there. They're coming in. When I end it this way, when you breathe out something, how long you think that breath lasts in the air? It can last for up to years. And it takes, like, from the United States to China, it probably takes about 60 days for a lot of that, whatever you breathe out, to get to China, to cross the oceans. So when you're in a room with people and you're breathing in what they're breathing out, don't believe that you're not getting it because they're 10 feet away or 20 feet away. If you're in the room long enough, all that's going to pass through your system. Go to Google Scholar and look it up, and you'll see that when you breathe out, that nitrogen, that oxygen, that carbon, it will be in the air for many, many years.
All right.
Did I make your point? Did I underscore your point?
I don't know.
The body prepare to fight all these things that are in the air and food and water, pollution.
Yes.
And our bodies also generate a massive amount of inflammation, as you all know that as well. So we always have to prepare our bodies to fight these things, because they're happening every second of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
June. Aston equals Google Scholar. I was just about to say they're on this Q&A because I don't want to go research this stuff. They just want you to give them the synopsis. What do I got to do? Hi, Trevor. Hi, Daisy. We have a question from Daisy. I'll put it up.
Okay. Hi,
And
Daisy.
hi, Ron. And we spoke to Fitzgerald. And we'll say hi to May and Donna and Suzanne. Oh, Suzanne July. Yay. You're here. Maxine,
Yeah,
Darnett,
she was in Dubai. Sure.
Ronald. Oh my gosh. What a great group today. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. Okay. Mary said I skipped over May. What happened to May? Where's May? Oh, yes, 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 May. Okay, sorry. We'll get back to your question, Daisy. Okay. May says, can you talk about vitamin D pills? My question is if someone takes vitamin D every day, but then when taking a blood test, it showed low vitamin D. So, May, are you just asking what to do if you've been taking vitamin D every day and it's still showing low? Or are you asking if it shouldn't? There's a bunch of factors there. So I guess we could talk through a bunch of factors. Let's see.
All of the above.
Whoop, sorry, I went to the wrong comment. Hold on, let's go back to May. Yeah, so it's a bunch of things, May. So NuSpecies vitamin D is from a whole food source, which is raw, wild caught Norwegian cod liver oil. Because the liver of a cod naturally produces vitamin D because it's actually a hormone, not a vitamin. And that is going to yield more natural, therefore lower levels of vitamin D. Like for us, if you take the 4 capsules, it's 500 IUs. Versus if you have very low vitamin D, like under 10, your doctor could recommend a pill that's like 20,000 IUs daily. That would be very short period for a very short period of time. And you know, so there's a balance between if your vitamin D is really really low and how fast your doctor needs it to come up. Are there other health conditions happening that make that low vitamin D more urgent to correct? If it's corrected with a chemical version of vitamin D made in a lab, is that real? Even though your blood shows that it's higher, is that really yielding the domino effect of the health benefits vitamin D is supposed to have? Or is it just pushing it up in your blood level, giving you a false sense of confidence? So maybe you know more certainly. What I would say is if you're taking our vitamin D and you're just doing the 4 capsules, you might need to increase to 8 or 12. And because it is cod liver oil, depending on other health issues you have, Aston may or may not want you to do that. Also, maybe you haven't been taking it long enough, or I don't know if you had a baseline of your vitamin D before this test. Maybe it is higher. It's just still low because it hasn't been long enough. So there's a whole lot of things we could address with that question. Why is it low? Yeah. So, okay. Then that I think I covered the possibilities. Depends on how. What can you tell us the number? Because if a doctor's telling you it's low, then it's probably really low.
Yeah,
Because they
probably.
already accept a low number as normal.
Right.
So
30, 30 and above supposed to be normal. We believe that vitamin D should be
like
upwards of 50,
80.
60, 80. Yeah,
Yeah.
way up there should be.
Yeah.
Um,
Which can take longer to get there with a natural source. Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, there are many different types of vitamin D out there, and some of them. I don't want to speak negative of any company and their products. I want to speak about ours. So our vitamin D is DNA, right? And it's cod liver.
Well, so because the cod liver, the oil produced by the liver of the cod also naturally has vitamin A in it, which is
Right.
why we call out both, even though you're getting a lot more. It's just the whole food source, so you're getting whatever that whole food source provides, including the omegas.
Right. So our vitamin A and D, vitamin A and D actually should be they should be together. They should be unified in nature when you take them, like we get it from the cod liver oil, the calciferol, that's the D, and the A is the retinol, and those are natural. So if you go into pharmacies or other places and buying vitamin D, um, you may not be getting what we have, and that's why our IU is usually a lot lower than what you see on bottles that you buy in other stores, because ours is natural, it's potent, it's pure. So that could be a factor as well. But
Right. May did confirm she's only taking 2 a day. So at least 4 for maintenance. And if you're really low and you need a shorter period of time where you take more. Now,
Right.
Aston, I think you were saying if someone has like high cholesterol or something, they maybe shouldn't take more than 4 or 8.
It depends on how high their. So usually when someone comes to me, if they, let's say their cholesterol is 240, 250, which is pretty high, the total cholesterol, and they say, "Oh, I eat a lot of meat, I eat a lot of salmon, I'm taking all these other omega supplements." A lot of people are taking omega supplements. Some of these omega supplements are, based on what they tell me, don't sound like they're of good quality.
Mm.
So if they stop taking those, excuse my French, crap, don't speak French, then they can take our vitamin D.
Mhm.
You know, by then I would have decided, or I would have concluded that because of the diet, the dietary practices that particular client has, that's the reason why their cholesterol is so high.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they can take our vitamin D because it's naturally going to get digested properly in the stomach and then metabolized into the bloodstream. So our vitamin D would have been fine. But if there are some people who have genetic problems with
Mm.
cholesterol, it's in
Mhm.
their family history
Right.
and in deadly ways where
Mhm.
family
It's
members
in my
have,
family.
so for those people, I would say they would take less of the new species vitamin A and D. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so May, if you think you have any of those complicating factors, just give us a call and we'll talk it out with Aston. If not, you should at least be taking the 4. Depending on how low it is, you may want to take more temporarily. And then, there are some clients who do other versions, like chemical versions of vitamin D for a while until they feel comfortable, and then they go back to ours for maintenance. Really, it's up to whatever you and your doctor think is best for you. All we can do is provide you with what we currently know and what we do think is best, and you just have to take that information and make the best decision for you. But I think you'll see that really change if you start taking the 4. Because
Hmm.
my vitamin D when I wasn't taking anything, I was 12. And
Wow.
I know I spent just a couple of months taking the 4 a day and it went up to 29. And now I'll check it again at the end of this month. And so it'll likely have gone up even higher, especially having gone through the summer. That helps. So yeah, it all depends on the time of year as well.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I hope that answers the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There was another question.
Um, okay, yes. So, okay, Daisy. So Daisy says, I don't feel balance in my body. What can I use from NuSpecies? So I had asked her if she meant balance as in like literally walking, standing, coordination, or balance as in homeostasis.
Hmm.
And she confirmed she means homeostasis.
Right.
She
And,
doesn't feel
and,
balanced.
and this goes for, it goes for everyone. We have our more basic formulas that I would recommend Daisy, and I know Daisy's health history.
Mm,
She's um, a long time dedicated client. So
mhm,
at the more basic level, for you want to have better balance in your body with your. It comes down to your pH level, toxicity, and all of that. Just do the detox package.
mhm.
Do the detox package. Do the LNU one, Daisy. Just do those. The detox package, the LNU one.
I drink a lot of water.
Boy, there you go. And Daisy, if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be doing a minimum of 50 ounces of water, half the body weight in ounces of water. And that goes for all of you. And now, if you, Daisy, you want to take it to another level where you want to give your body some extra, I would say you get our mineral complex, and also get our B vitamins complex, or multivitamin. Get those two and add it to that, and now you're supporting your body in a very, very significant way. And all of you should do that. I would say you all should get our multi-mineral, our B vitamins, get our detox, even if you don't get the L-nu, and you should subsist on that. And you can take a teaspoon of the B vitamins and the mineral complex. It's going to last one person 3 months or so. So, and you can skip a day if you're just maintaining for homeostasis. You can just take the detox maybe once or twice or 3 times a week. You don't have to take it every day. I was trying to recommend that you all be doing that. We eat organic foods mostly. That's what's written on the foods, at least. But it's hard to believe those foods are organic, in fact, because quite honestly, I do not find them to be very nourishing. And I feel like NuSpecies is my food, and the whole foods we buy as organic, I feel like those are my supplements. I feel like those are the mass I need in my intestines so I can, I can feel balance in what I'm doing. And I have felt that for years. It's not recent. So I think you all should be doing that. Get the B vitamins, get the mineral complex, and the detox package, and just clean the blood, just clean the body, drink lots of water, just flush the system out, flush out all inflammation, flush out, the ROS, reactive oxygen species, and those are what's created by our digestive processes and our metabolic processes. Those are just naturally created in our bodies in excess. So those have to be cleansed out. That's why we have a liver and a kidney to clean these things out. I think if you do that, Daisy, you should be fine. And if not, do it for a month and call me up. Call one of the teams, and if you don't get me, and say, hey, tell Austin I need to speak with him.
And if you're not already walking on a daily basis, I know that changes so much for me.
A lot.
When I just take a quick 10-minute walk, and it usually ends up turning into longer than that, but it's the way I get myself out the door by just saying, okay, only 10 minutes. And sometimes I do only do the 10 minutes. And it's amazing how just that quick, brisk 10-minute walk can just clear the mind, settle the body, get the blood flowing. It's really, really powerful. I mean, we often overlook those simplest things because we think it has to be more complicated. We think it has to be more sophisticated.
Intense.
We think it has to be intense. It has to be expensive.
No.
And actually, the simplest things done consistently are the most powerful. So, like we said, our baseline formulas for vitamins, minerals, and detox with some walking every day and a lot of water and even, getting good sleep, I think you will see a huge turnaround in how you feel.
Complexity is stressful. Simplicity is power. And I have found it to be absolutely true.
And simplicity can be hard to get to.
I know, because
and our minds resist it for whatever reason. It just feels like it can't be the best if it's simple. But yeah, I feel like that's just what NuSpecies is constantly trying to do, is just break through all the noise and complexity. And, the nutritional industry is just continuously exploding with more and more products that are getting more and more like specifically targeting every single little thing in your body. And you feel like you have to buy 50 things and do 100 hacks every day to just be healthy. And it's just not true. It's just not true. You are doing enough if every single day you just take meaningful steps toward caring for yourself, which is walking, sleeping, coming off devices, getting off screens, getting off social media, stop scrolling. It's doing nothing for you. When you need to know something, just go look it up. You don't need to know everything all the time because you're going to forget most of it. It's not going to be useful. But you know what will last? The stress. The stress stays in your body for days after scrolling through social media. Get off the screens, and gosh, if you're doing it before bed, stop. Get a good night's sleep. Take your basic NuSpecies. If that's all you're able to do, it's powerful and perfectly fine. And write a gratitude list. Go to church, pray, meditate, pursue being closer to love and compassion. That just brings so much peace and calm into your daily life that you will feel so much better just consistently pursuing these very basic steps of care for yourself.
That's what I saw my grandmother doing. She died at 99. You met her. She just lives just this very simple life. Planted her own vegetables at the back of her house, and she slept away. She sat in a rocker chair and just slept away, disease free. 99 years old. So simplicity is power, people.
Mm.
Take care of yourselves.
Yeah. And the last thing I will say, just because this is what we do all the time, is talk to people who may be facing death. And as I get
Mm.
older, I'm more people in my own life are getting there. And I find that thinking about my death and accepting that I will die some point, somehow, makes me really excited to live my life. I just think you
What a
can.
way to end this program. We're going to
Just,
continue this next week.
I just think you cannot live your life without accepting and thinking about your death. And, when I talked to my mom and I was talking to her about, like, what would be the ideal way? Like, if you could plan your death, like, what would it be? And she was like, to just fall asleep. And I was like, okay, like, let's work toward that.
All of us think of death. I think we all do.
But often,
If
like,
we don't,
in a fearful
we're just
way.
not connected to the universe and to life and to God if we're not.
Well, I think most people want to avoid, like, it comes up, but they want to avoid thinking about it. They want to fight that it's going to happen. And I think that we need to accept it before we can really live a life that will actually help us prolong before that happens. But I
I
think they
agree.
go hand in hand,
I agree.
right?
It makes you appreciate life more. It makes you appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
You get up in the morning, the sun rises, and you say, "Wow, the sun is up there. I'm here, and I could have been elsewhere." You know what I mean? So it does, ground you to live simple and just see life as it is, and just try to make the best of it.
Mhm.
And that's what we do here. We're trying to give you all the tools for you to live better and longer for your
Mhm.
children, your grandchildren, your spouses, for your friends and family. That's why we come here and we sit here every week, almost every week, and we go through what you should do. And I'm not perfect.
There is
I
no perfect. It's not a thing.
I am
That's a
I'm
human
I
construct out
still
of these
have
crazy brains. There's no such thing. You define it. And actually, that's why. Because we talk about perfect as if there's some objective definition of it, but actually, it's whatever you want it to mean.
in the annals of physics and chemistry, there's no such thing as perfection. It's balance, as
Yeah.
someone said
Thank you,
before.
Daisy,
Yeah,
for that
homeostasis is balance.
inspiration of this conference.
Yep.
Yes, balance is perfection, and balance means something different for everyone, and only you can know that,
Mhm.
which is why we encourage you to pursue all those aspects of mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, that creates balance.
Yeah. Yeah, they all go together. They're each they're one. They're all one. They're all connected. Mental, spiritual, physical, they're all connected. When you have balance in all those three, you're going to have peace, you're going to have love, you're going to have simplicity in your life. All these things that bother you won't bother you. Your brain will be able to cut through all this stuff, all the people who bother you, cause you stress, cause you all the negative feelings. You will learn to gradually just move away from them because they make you feel bad, they stress you out. And when you know that stress kills, it causes blood pressure, diabetes, damage to genes and DNA. So when you have that balance, that mental, spiritual, physical balance, the spiritual part of it
Mhm.
especially, that's going to give you simplicity and peace because you're going to face reality. As Jillian was just saying, we're all going to die one day. But I think when we think of life and death, and we know we have life, and we know death is down the road somewhere, you appreciate life more. And I think for me, things bother me less. They don't bother me as much,
Mm.
and not even my kids bother me as much.
And actually, the last thing I'll add to that, Daisy, is breathing. Often we're breathing in a way that is not making us feel balance. We either are forgetting to breathe, like holding our breath sometimes, or we're breathing too fast.
I'm
Uh,
guilty of that.
and when that happens, it's likely because we're stuck in our head. And the first step to actually creating some peace and calm and homeostasis in the body is focusing on your breath instead. Because when you're focusing on your breath coming in and out of your body, you come out of your mind. And that opens up the doors for all sorts of just even basic calm and peace in that moment
Mm-hmm.
to full-blown spiritual awakenings and inspirations or downloads from God or the universe, and all sorts of answers come to you when you just get out of here and you go and you're in here. And your body will tell you things. It'll tell you, hey, actually, there's a pain over here in your hip. Did you notice? Hey, by the way, if you could just stretch that muscle for me, that would be great. Right? Your body can't tell you those things from here. It has to tell you those things in here. And you can only focus in on that when you focus on your breath and you breathe. So it's everywhere now on the internet. You could find some really basic breathing exercises, but like the easiest one that I do that brings me calm immediately is if you breathe in for 4 seconds and then hold it for 4 seconds and then exhale slowly with your mouth open and soft. You're not going right. You want to have your mouth open like you're right, but you want to let it out for 8 seconds. So breathe in for 4 seconds, fill your belly, hold it for 4 seconds, and then slowly release it, just saying for 7 to 8 seconds. That extended exhale compared to the inhale is what creates that deep, deep feeling of relaxation and just opens you up to everything else you need to feel the balance that you're looking for.
Very scientific.
Yes.
Very powerful. Well, today, this is one of my favorite programs. It's going to go on as, and I think we end here, right?
Yes, I have to get
we
to
can
our son's football game, which I
we
hate that he's playing, but
we-
I have to go watch.
we can pick it up next week.
Yeah.
And if you all have questions about all the things we have been discussing over the years, and particularly this, today, just you can ask your questions way ahead of time. And Mary, how do they ask their questions
In advance
in advance?
on
Yeah.
the app. So if you download the NuSpecies app, just scroll down a little bit on the homepage. You'll see a place where you can submit your questions in advance. That way we can just start addressing them when we get onto the show. Please don't forget about the 15% off all full price products. It ends tomorrow. Today's the last day for in-store though. So Bronxville try to get there by 5, Elmont try to get there by 6. Excuse me. And then tomorrow you can order online, and you can order online for in-store pickup. So you don't have to get shipped to, and you can go pick up whenever you're ready. And then, yeah, and Bronxville and Elmont are open today. We don't have any closures, I think, coming up just because the next holiday is on a Thursday and we're not even open on Thursdays. So we should be open for you. And we're excited to hear from you. Again, we want your feedback. We love your reviews on Google or on the products you've used on our website. Please, please do that. And gosh, we're just so happy to have you here. And this is an inspiring, thank you for inspiring the conversation and digging out of us what needs to be said.
Yep, and we have a lot more down there to dig out.
Mhm.
Gold and diamond. We have a lot more to share with you. We actually do. We're really changing up a lot of new species to make things easier, better for you, create more information for you and friends and family. So we have a lot to share with you, truly.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll be here every Saturday at 10 a.m. We'll see you then.